Commander Jake Morrison stood in the pristine white chamber aboard the Zephyrian mothership, his heart pounding against his ribs. The artificial gravity felt lighter than Earth's, making each step feel like he was walking on clouds. Before him stood two figures that would determine humanity's future among the stars. The Zephyrian High Council had been clear. Earth's biosphere was dying, and humanity had perhaps 50 years before total ecological collapse. The Zephyrians, an ancient spacefaring race, offered salvation, but it came with conditions that made Jake's stomach churn. "Human Morrison," spoke Zara, the elder of the two Zephyrian females before him. Her silver skin shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that indicated deep thought, while her large violet eyes held millennia of wisdom. "You understand the gravity of this decision." Her sister Lyra stepped forward. Younger by Zephyrian standards, though still over 2 centuries old, she possessed the same ethereal beauty but with golden undertones to her skin. "The genetic compatibility between our species is remarkable," she said, her voice like wind chimes. "But our population laws are absolute. One human, one Zephyrian, one chance to create a hybrid colony." Jake had been chosen to represent humanity not just for his military record, but for his genetic markers that showed the highest compatibility with Zephyrian DNA. The weight of 7 billion souls pressed down on his shoulders. "I've studied both of your files," Jake said, his voice steady despite his racing pulse. "Zara, your expertise in terraforming could help us adapt dying worlds. Lyra, your knowledge of quantum biology could revolutionize how we approach genetic diversity." "You speak of us as if we are resources," Zara observed, though not unkindly. "Perhaps that is why we find your species so intriguing." "No," Jake replied firmly. "I speak of you as individuals with unique gifts. That's exactly why I can't choose." Lyra's bioluminescent patterns flickered in confusion. "The protocol is clear, human. Choose one. The other returns to the outer colonies. This is how we maintain population balance across the galaxy." Jake took a deep breath, remembering every strategy session, every sleepless night studying Zephyrian law and culture. Humanity hadn't survived ice ages, plagues, and wars by accepting impossible choices at face value. "What if I told you there's a third option?" he said. Zara's patterns brightened with curiosity. "Explain." "Your population laws exist to prevent resource strain and genetic bottlenecking across colonies, correct? But they were written for Zephyrian reproduction rates and lifespans." Jake began pacing, his mind racing. "Humans reproduce differently. We have shorter lifespans but higher fertility rates. We could establish not 1, but 3 colonies." "3?" Lyra's voice carried surprise. "The Terran Zephyrian colony as planned with hybrid offspring, but also 2 pure-strain colonies, 1 human, 1 Zephyrian, for genetic backup and cultural preservation. Instead of depleting your population, we'd be creating redundancy and safety nets." Zara's sister exchanged glances that lasted several seconds, their form of rapid communication through bioluminescent patterns. Finally, Zara spoke. "This violates the choice protocol." "Does it?" Jake challenged. "Or does it fulfill its intent more completely than the original design? Your ancestors created these laws to ensure survival. I'm proposing we ensure it better." He pulled out a data pad containing months of calculations. "Look at the resource allocation models. Look at the genetic diversity projections. Look at the cultural exchange benefits. This isn't just about saving humanity. It's about creating something neither of our species could achieve alone." Lyra studied the data, her patterns shifting through various colors. "The mathematics are compelling, but the High Council values innovation," Jake interrupted gently. "Your people didn't become the galaxy's most successful civilization by rigidly following outdated protocols. You adapted. You evolved. You made hard choices for long-term benefit." And what makes you think we would both choose to participate in this unprecedented arrangement? Zara asked, though her tone suggested genuine curiosity rather than dismissal. Jake smiled, the first genuine expression he'd allowed himself since entering the chamber. Because I've spent 3 months learning about both of you. Zara, you've spent your life pushing boundaries in terraforming technology. Lyra, your research in quantum genetics has been stalled by population restrictions. This project would give both of you the freedom to pursue your life's work on a scale never before attempted. You would be asking us to share, Lyra pointed out. I'd be asking you to multiply, Jake corrected. Share knowledge, share discoveries, share the joy of creating something entirely new. Humans have a saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Zara's patterns shifted to what Jake had learned indicated amusement. Your species' tendency toward pack cooperation continues to surprise us. We're social creatures, Jake acknowledged. We do our best work together. And frankly, the universe is dangerous enough without artificial scarcity limiting our options. The sisters communicated again through their rapid light language. When they finished, both turned to Jake with expressions that seemed almost hopeful. This proposal would require approval from the High Council, Zara said slowly. And extensive resource reallocation, Lyra added. And complete restructuring of colonial law, Zara continued. Jake nodded. I know, but consider the alternative. Humanity dies in 50 years. Zephyrian expansion continues at its current conservative pace. Neither of us reaches our full potential. Or, Lyra said, her patterns brightening, we create something unprecedented. Together, Zara finished. Jake extended both hands, palm up, a gesture of partnership he'd learned from Zephyrian diplomatic records. So, what do you say? Ready to break some rules? Both sisters placed their hands over his, their warm touch sending bioluminescent ripples up their arms. For the first time in 3 centuries, Zara admitted, I find myself excited about the future. Then let's go make history, Jake replied, grinning as he prepared to face the High Council with the most audacious proposal in galactic history. Sometimes, the best choice was refusing to choose at all.